Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Fitri Sharizan bin Muhammad Yusri with my identity card D202010955567. Before I continue with my description about computer function, I want to tell you all about what meaning of computer. Computer is an electronic device operating under the control of instruction stored in its memory unit that can accept data as an input, process data arithmetically and logically, produce the result as an output from the processing, and store the result for future use. What is computer function? Computer have input, process, and output. Input is data. Data entered from the keyboard or mouse or anything else. Anything entered is data. For example, number, picture, instruction, sound, and so on. After entering the data, he will go to the process run by CPU. Finally, the process data will come out and be displayed on monitor. A computer processes data into a meaningful form, that is information. A computer can hold process data and information for future use is an area called storage. That's all for me.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Dr. Ismail. My name is Nurzaya binti Roslan. I'm from Group 5. Today I will discuss with you what the reason prompted human to create computer. But first, as we know, many scholars are involved in invented computer, such as Blaise Pascal, who invented the first mechanical machines or calculator. Next is John Napier. John Napier is the one who created the first algorithm table. And the most popular one is Charles Babbage, who introduced the analytic engines idea, which is very similar with our computer nowadays. But why do they invent the computer? This is the main point for question number 2. Here is my answer. In ancient time, calculation was done using finger, woods, beads, and shells. Okay. The history of computer began with the creation of business tools such as abacus. Abacus is to make and is for business people in the process of rejecting, missing, and multiplying. So, the main reason they invented the computer is calculation. That is my answer. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Farhan Nazmi bin Muhammad Fadli from Group 5 MPN 3013 Group N. Computers are growing very fast and now their development is almost every minute, and computer development use increasing processor speed, decreasing component size, increasing memory size, and increasing capacity as well as I/O speed. In 1946, a first generation computer was made using a vacuum tube as a basic component. This tube is efficient because the component heats up very quickly and need large electrical power in its operation. In 1959, the vacuum tube was replaced with transistor technology. This component is more efficient because it has a smaller size than vacuum tube, and electrical power required is smaller for its operation. It costs also much more affordable than using vacuum tube in the first generation. One of the second generation computer is IBM 7094, which purpose his ability in increasing. The capacity increased and the cost decreased. In 1965, this computer was made using integrated circuit (IC). It's become the first computer which allow operator to interact using keyboard and monitors with operating system display. In addition, this computer costs less, so it can be reached by the general public. After the IC, the development goal become clearer, which is to reduce the size of circuit and electrical component. Now, a microprocessor can be produced and programmed to meet all needs. The development of small computer can be connected simultaneously in a network to share memory, software, information, and also to be able to communicate with each other. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum Dr. Yusof. My name is Muhammad Akil bin Jamari. I'm from Pahang. I'm an ASC 10 student. I am member group of 5 of MTN 3013 group B. Today I will talk about the factors that have led to the change of computer generation. Based on what I read, there are 5 generations of computer. Every computer from generation to generation become better and easier to use. 1946 was the first year when the first generation of a computer were made using vacuum tube as the basic component of its manufacture. The tube, which is the basic component, is known to be inefficient in several aspects because the component heat up very quickly when used. In addition, this computer require very large electrical power in operation. Electronic numerical integrator and computer is an example of the first generation computers. Funds needed to make this device almost reached $1 million. However, the capabilities of this generation of computer are very limited, so solving problem takes a long time. In 1959, the component for designing computer was transistor technology. The vacuum tube that served a basic component in the first generation of computer was replaced by transistor technology. This component is considered much efficient when compared to the vacuum tubes. The history of computers and their development using a transistor base has a smaller size than the electric vacuum tube, which is smaller for its operation. The cost of making second generation computer is much affordable than using vacuum in the first generation. For the programming language, it also has been developed. If the first generation used machine language, the second generation replace it by using assembly language and symbolic language. By using this programming language, programmers can divide instructions with words. The third generation of computers started in 1965, at which time these computers were made using integrated circuit. This strategy shifts the function of transistors as the basic component of the computers. However, transistors are still used, but the size is reduced. Some of these small transistors are input on the IC along with resistors and capacitors. This third generation computer is the first computer which can make operators interact using keyboard and monitor with the operating system display. In addition, this computer costs less so that it can be reached by general public. The third generation computer is a development through a very rapid stage from previous computer. In use, transistor can make computer performance hot quickly, so that second generation of computer begin to evident. The computers we use today are fourth generation computers, which is fourth generation made using basic component called microprocessor. Microprocessor chips have 1,000 transistors and several kinds of circuit elements which are connected one to another. The computer from Intel has succeeded in replacing large computers that have become very small in size, making it more efficient. There are so many rapid advances that have occurred in this fourth generation, such as creation of mouse, a graphical user interface, or a GUI to a portable computer called laptop. Processor, or what is called the CPU, has always been developing from time to time until now. The fifth generation is actually in development stage, where this generation will have technology based on artificial intelligence. The development of this fifth generation computer aims to be able to produce computer device that can respond using language used by human. It is not enough that this generation of computers is able to study the environment around it and be able to adjust itself.